A very good evening to you all. My name is Kobby, Spiky, Nkrumah. You're tuned in to Joy 99.7 FM. It's just a few minutes after 7, 9 minutes to be specific. And yes, as soon as you hear that step, trap, step, it means the geeks are in town. Yes. So it's time. It's Tuesday. Tuesday starts with a T. Technology starts with a T. So we're here to talk tech on a Tuesday. And guess who showed up in the studio?
Yes, it is I, the great MJT. I've missed Spiky so much. I had to come back. Quarantine or no?
There's no quarantine.
Maybe for you.
Yo, man, it's been a minute. How are you doing?
It's good to just breathe the free air in. And now how to come and exhale is back on to all of our listeners. And, keep them up to date. But
hopefully not.
It's nice to talk to you face to face after such a long time. I haven't missed you at the studio.
You have missed the studio. Me, you haven't, because you and I, we have driven the streets of Accra.
We have. But that doesn't mean I don't miss you still.
Anyways, feels good.
Yeah.
So, it's a Tuesday. What's up in the tech world so far with you? What have you experienced? What have you seen? What have you heard? What's beating your mind lately in the tech world?
Look, the only thing that has really pushed my mind throughout this entire time is, yes, there's a lot of great new and interesting tech coming out. Even just today, the Apple announced the upcoming conference where it's likely the iPhone 12 will be announced on September 15th.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Today, Xbox announced a new Xbox alongside their current coming Xbox. Those are now the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
And despite all that, then online, Xbox have announced a new Xbox, but PlayStation is trending. They've not said anything, but the fact that Xbox have announced that people are more interested in PlayStation anyway.
That's a poll we should run one of these days to find out Xbox versus PlayStation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously versus PC, but it will probably not end well for us. So yes, Xbox versus PlayStation versus Nintendo. Where do your allegiances lie? PC
is a master race. All these things bow to the feet of the PC. A la RTX 3090.
Whatever. Just so you know, listeners, while Spiky is saying that as a PC elitist he is, I am the everyman down to earth. I will be with my consoles till the end. Because nothing picks up, nothing feels better than, I want to play a game. What do? Controller on in hand, console on, TV on, and play. Job done.
What do they make these games on again? Where do they develop the games? Where do they code them?
Magic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So like they take a cauldron and then they pour all the code in a cauldron, mix it, sugar, spice, and everything nice.
And then pour it onto the console.
And then game, voila.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow.
And then in the case of Nintendo, they have to spoon some of it out.
They
can't hold as much as the regular consoles
do. Talking about consoles takes me back to the days where we were in school. Now, I don't know when's the last time you wrote an exam, Michael?
Oh, wow, Spiky. Reaching for my age like
no,
that.
I mean...
It's been a very, very long time since I've written an exam. Although, I do remember one story from when writing an exam, and I actually have a console in there. I used to use my PSP as my exam calculator.
Wait, what?
Yes.
You took a PSP into your exam hall
and used it as a calculator. I didn't just take it into the exam hall and just have it there.
Michael's employers, this is just to tell you that Michael cheated in his exam.
I did not cheat in my exam because I had a different PSP for my notes, which was very, very clearly labeled as such. That one never entered the exam hall.
Yeah. Why didn't they let people use graphical calculators then if you are allowed to use a PlayStation portable, literally a portable computer to write your exam?
And then when there was one very, very confused invigilator who spent a good 20 minutes looking at my PlayStation, confused as to what to do with it.
To seize it?
Well, he didn't know what to do with it. He eventually just said, like, you know what? There's no precedent. Just don't do it again, he begs. But there is a time, so guy like, obviously he's using it to work.
Yeah.
Because he can see my calculations and everything on. And then it's not as if I brought it into an English class.
And it's not as if you brought it in to play a game. That'd be so counterintuitive.
Oh, I have fallen asleep in an exam hall once.
That makes two of us.
So well. Ate it too.
I can't say so much about myself. Anyways, so did you ever buy those Pasco books where they had those past questions of an exam you're about to write, be it BEC or WASI, and then have to try to solve those questions in a bid to know, basically you're taking a test of a test, or a test of an exam. Did you ever have to go through that?
I'll answer the question with a question like the true Ghanaian I am. Is it possible to be a Ghanaian student and not reach for Pasco in any form? Whether you're buying a book from a legitimate or dubious source, whether you're getting photocopies of the camera negative of exam questions, or even if you're asking your lecturer / teacher directly, say any past questions. And in a lot of the cases, which is why Pascal is so strong, they remake those same questions over and over again. So you know, sometimes and some will tell you no, and still remake the questions. And others will say yes, but here's a whole batch. I will tell you which ones are coming in. So yeah, the sources for Pascal are run from here right to the moon and back. And everyone I know, if you're studying in Ghana, you have to use Pascal.
Yeah.
There are 2 or 3 schools in question that are exempt from that. They know themselves, but we'll not talk about them.
I guess we wouldn't. So, guess what? Imagine a time when you didn't have to buy Pascal books, because how would they get updated? A new one comes, you have to go buy a new one, right?
Jeez.
Yeah. See, this generation, if they come out dumb, we have a whole lot of violence to exact. Anyways, I'm not going to encourage violence, but yeah, you can't have all this technology at your disposal and not be able to ace your test or your exam. There's a company though that has created an app called the Ultimate Pascal. Now, think about it. Ultimate Pascal.
That is strong.
Yes, that is strong. And because we know it's strong, we have Richard Wogodo on the line. Hi, Richard.
Hello, Spiky.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm very, very well. Now, you have created an app called the Ultimate Pascal app. That's a huge claim.
Well, Spiky,
yeah.
The name of the app really came from the vision that we have for the app. So basically, the Ultimate Pascal is a simple, easy to use, and comprehensive mobile app for students who are writing their BEC or WASI, So really the vision that we have for the app is the reason why we named the app Ultimate Pascal, because we believe that probably not now, but in a few months to come, it's going to be the top dog when it comes to going through or going over past questions in Ghana.
So, with that being said, your app is the Ultimate Pascal app.
Exactly.
So, what is the Ultimate Pascal app?
So, like I said before, it's an app for students who are in GHS or SHS. It has questions and answers for BEC and WASI, and it covers almost, for BEC, we have currently now about 7 different subjects, and then for WASI, we have 4 different subjects now, but we're trying to add on more questions to it every month to cover and make it, truly ultimate. Great.
So what you're saying, when I download this app, I will get all the Pascal questions from when to when?
That is the vision that we have. But as we speak now, we have about 7 subjects for BEC. We have 10 years from 2009 to 2019.
Right.
And we have same for 4 subjects for WASI.
Okay. So you created this app basically for students to practice before they go and take any of these exams, be it the BEC or the WASI.
Exactly. And the whole idea is that we wanted an app that is very easy to use, that is simply designed and fits very well and easily with all students of all age groups. So let's say you are in GHS 1, GHS 2, 3, SHS 1, 2, 3. You are between the ages of 12, 13 to 19 years. This app easily works for you no matter what age you are in.
Right. So when I download the app, what do I experience? How am I going to, what do I get? Just questions?
Okay, so basically, we have questions as well as answers.
Right.
And what we've done is that we've made sure that for each and every question, we provide you the answers. So let's say you take section A, for example, we have, let's say, question 1. Then you will see that there are multiple choice answers for each question. Now, when you, for example, click on, let's say, option number A, and the answer is wrong, it tells you it's wrong. You can keep trying until you get the correct answer, at which point it tells you that this is the correct answer.
Right, so it's interactive. It's not just a scanned old question book that has been uploaded.
I can tell you that with NetZosoft and the kind of vision that we have for the apps that we develop, there's no way we can build an app that is as boring as you're describing it. It's fully interactive. It's beautiful, and it's very easy to use.
That's interesting. So when did this idea start? Is it that you were probably going to take an exam and then you realized, this would have been a great idea to have as an app?
Okay, so basically during the lockdown, we realized that there were a lot of gaps that we needed to fill. If you look at the whole education sector, most schools were struggling, most teachers and parents were struggling to understand the kind of tech to use and to prepare themselves for exams. So during that period, we began to think of ways and means that we can actually contribute to bridge the gap between the easiness that we can have with education and also the students passing the exams. So somewhere in June 2020, we actually began to conceptualize the app and put the app into real vision that we had for it.
Right. So when you got this vision, when did you start developing it? How long did it take you to develop it?
Okay, so between June to August is when we built the entire app.
Right.
So that's about 3 months. We built the entire app in about 3 months. But we went through several iterations, over and over again until we believed that the app that we had was really in the truest vision that we had for an app that would really work well with students of all ages. So 3 months, basically.
So it took you 3 months, just 3 months to build this app, and then test it and make sure that everyone was cool with it.
Exactly.
So far,
we had a whole list of alpha test team in the background whom we sent the app to. They tested, gave us their feedback, and after the several iterations, we came out with what we have now.
So, did any of your team members, your test team, were any of them students, like BEC students and SSE students?
Okay, so mostly we dealt with the parents. We have parents who are on our team and colleagues as well. So we let them share with their younger kids who are currently writing BEC or WASI to give us their feedback of it.
Okay, so then the parents shared with their kids and then they gave you the feedback. And with that feedback.
Exactly.
Do you have any young coders? What's the youngest coder on your team?
I would say the youngest person we have, sadly, will be in the late 20s.
Okay, because
yes,
I was expecting to hear that you had a SSE graduate on your team. You should get them on.
Those people are in training now. Since we began the app, we are trying to get a lot more people on the project. So I believe with time we'll get a lot more of them, and even not just guys, but women as well. Girl coders. Yeah. That's the plan. Yes.
Great. Now, with all that being said, I noticed at one point in time that your app was trending in the Play Store. That was a big, achievement.
So we launched the app officially on the 1st of September,
Right.
just about 8 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, the vision that we had for the app, and most people who saw what we were trying to achieve were fully on board. So they helped us spread the app on social media, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on a lot of news platforms as well. And so in just that short period, we were able to trend, and our app was the top app for education in Ghana for some time. Yes.
Wow. Now that's big.
Yes.
I'm sure you guys popped some champagne in the office to celebrate.
Well, to be honest with you, we are not popping champagne now because the vision we have is bigger.
Right.
We currently have around 1.7K downloads across all platforms,
Okay.
Android and iOS. But the vision really is to get this app in the hands of every
Everyone.
student between GHS and SHS. So really, we cannot pop the champagne now.
So
There's
you
a long way to go
until
for the
everyone is using it, until it becomes ubiquitous.
Hopefully, yes.
Now, what would you say is a unique selling point of your app? Why should I download your app? Because I'm sure there are other Pascal apps, no?
Okay, so what I would say is this. Now, if you look at Ghana now, this year alone, we have about 500,000 people who are writing BECE. Now, all these students, by all means, some way, somehow, they need to revise their past questions before exams, which we all do anyway. When I was in GHS, I was in SHS, we all did it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So the cost of the book itself, right, for just one Pascal book is about 50 Ghana cedis. If you are in GHS, that means that you have to spend about 500 Ghana cedis to buy all the 10 books.
Wow.
And if you're in SHS, spend about 400 Ghana cedis to buy all the 8 Pascal books. Now, this is not counting your tuition. This is not counting the cost you spend for your other books you must buy, okay? So what we thought is this. Since not everybody can afford to buy the books, okay? And obviously, I mean, myself included, when I was in GHS and SHS, I could not afford to buy all these books. So we felt that this app would really make a difference, in students' life. And the reason why we are fully, convinced about this is this. Number one, our app, and it's not because I'm saying this, but we've done research. If you look on the App Store now, or look on the Play Store now, there's no app that is as easy to use as our app right now. It's the easiest and simplest UI design yet on the market. Okay, our app is the only one I would say is cross-platform, that is works both on Android and iOS. Probably the others out there are not cross-platform. Okay, and the best part is that our app is fully free. You can get it today for free to use without any cost at all.
So how do you get paid then?
So this is what I think that as tech companies we need to really look at. Okay, there's a market of 2 million people, students in Ghana now, between GHS 1 and SHS 3, right? Now, before this app came out, I read a lot of comments online where people complained that some apps were being sold and they complained about the cost, and they complained that this app was for students. So we thought of having a different model where we can still be able to make the app available for free and still be able to find ways and means to monetize. I mean, Google is free. You don't pay Google a dime to use Google, right? Sure. Facebook is free, but they find ways and means to use various costing methods to actually, run the platform. So in the future, we hope to have some kind of a pro level feature, to include in the app, such that if, let's say, we have about 10-20% of the people who purchase that platform or purchase that pro level feature, that can sustain, the free version. Okay. So in that regard, students can get the app for free all the time, and that's our vision that we have for the app.
Okay, so you said it's cross-platform, meaning I'm getting it on iOS and then on Android. So assuming that I have very strict parents who don't buy me a smartphone, how else do I use this?
Okay, so Spiky, what I will assure you is that because of the COVID-19, okay, parents have become less stricter with giving their kids devices to use. Almost all students now are online because of some kind of e-learning platform that they must use now. Right. Okay, so the phones actually are in the hands of the kids. The question that we ask ourselves is that if the kid is going to be on his phone 24/7, what can we do to ensure that they maximize their time on the phone? So if they have the option to go through some kind of e-learning platform like this, for example, it helps them rather than to spend their time doing probably YouTube or Facebook. And I can tell you that when we check the app stats, okay, as early as 6 a.m. and even after 12 p.m., we have people who are logged into the app who use the app during those times.
Right.
Think about it. As early as 6 a.m. or after 12 p.m., kids between these age ranges are using the app. So which means that there's a need for this app for the kids to use.
So with all this data, good. Now, I like the fact that you're telling us how the kind of information that you're getting. So what kind of trends have you noticed from people using the app?
Please come again.
What kind of trends have you noticed from people using the app? So say, do you have a sign-up process, for instance?
Yeah.
You have a sign-up process.
Okay, so Spiky,
yes.
This is where our app gets very interesting.
Okay.
Now think of this. If you install any new app and the app first requires that you actually log in or register, how often are you prevented from actually registering to use the app? Because for me, it's quite often. Unless there's a compelling reason why I must register and log in, I normally won't do it.
Right.
And for kids between these age ranges, we don't need to really try to get them to log in and register and all that. What they want is the app. So what we do is that when you launch the app, you get the app.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through any process to enter your phone number or your email and all those things. Once you open the app is there for you to use there and then, easily and simply for you.
I noticed because I didn't get any way to, I wasn't asked for any information. I just logged in and it was straight up BC or WASI, and I just choose my test and then just go straight into it.
That's the whole idea, to make it as easy as possible for the GHS1 kid, same way for the SHS3, kid.
Yeah.
Very, very simple.
So basically, you're not taking data from anyone.
Not at all. We don't want the data for anything. What we want is that if you want to use the app, just install the app, enjoy it, use it, and you are done.
We know app developers always track usage. So what kind of tracking do you do of people who use these apps?
Okay, so basically we do the standard tracking. We, for example, know what kind of a device the person is logged into.
Right.
We know the country he's in. That's really basically all that we get. Okay, the country and the device. That's all that we know. We don't have any information about who they are, what they do and all those things. We don't have all that information at all.
But you get to know how long they spend on the app.
Well, because of our what we've implemented, we can have a general idea anonymously as to who is online, what time they are online, but we can't really tell who exactly they are. Right.
Now, based on that, I wanted to know what the trends are. So maybe you have a lot of people from Ghana. I don't know how specific your geo-targeting is. So do you know how many people are coming in from Accra, or do you know how many people are coming in from Kumasi? Do you get that kind of information?
Yes, so we do. So I can share some with you.
Right.
You'll be surprised to know that one country where we didn't expect to have a lot of downloads at the moment now is Sierra Leone.
Wow.
Okay. The highest we have now is in Ghana. Then we are doing as well some in the USA, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria. Those are, I would say, our top highest countries for both iOS and then Android as well.
Okay. Now, which of these tests do they all take? For instance, if you take Ghana, which of the tests do you find more people taking, and which of the tests do you find more people taking on in the US and Sierra Leone?
Okay, so I don't have the specifics, for example, for the various countries, but I can give you a fair idea that mostly the kids are doing BEC Maths, BEC Science, BEC English, and then WASI Science and Maths as well.
Okay.
Those are, at least for now, what we are seeing now that most people are actually logging into to use now.
I mean, that should inform all those NGOs who are trying to encourage STEM education to really put in more effort. Now, Michael.
How you source your WhatsApp? So do you have, it's a big portion of your team, one developer, and everybody else has the WhatsApp books and constantly scanning the questions and the answers?
Okay, basically, what we do is that we have the different teams spread out because of the COVID-19. So basically, we all work from home now. We do our private stuff from home now. We don't have to meet in one place. So the team members, some are doing the front end development. Okay, some two are focused on the testing as well, and then some two actually working on the questions. So let's say we get the books. We digitize them, we convert them. Then we have a specific format that is mobile friendly. So we convert all the information into our and the reason why I also think that our app is the best because if you look at the interface, okay, if you look at how the questions were designed and set, if you have any kind of mobile device, whatever the screen size is, our app fits perfectly for any type. So the pictures that are showing, the text that are showing, it fits every single kind of device. So we don't really have to worry about if you have a tablet on an iPad or you have, let's say, a 3.4-inch iPhone SE or a smaller device. It fits perfectly for them. So the team is spread out. Some doing the back end, some doing the front end, some doing the testing, across board.
Right.
Cool.
Michael, any more?
I had a question. It briefly flashed out of my head.
So, Richard, how often do you update your content?
Okay. So I will tell you that we have a vision to be the biggest in Ghana by next year, 2021. And one reason for now, when it comes to UI design, we strongly believe that we beat the market easily. We beat the competitors easily when it comes to UI design. When it comes to ease of use too, we are number one. The place where we want to do more work will be the content. So we have an internal commitment that every month, every single month, we are going to release a new update of the app that will have more questions every single month. What this means is that per our roadmap, next year by this time, if we were to have the same interview again, we would have had a bigger database of contents online for Pascal questions for students to use. And this is really our vision that we have.
We will measure it. Right, Michael? Yeah, we'll hold you to that.
We will hold you to that.
And if you don't get there,
standards have to be met. If you fall, we will drag you.
Not only me per se, but I think you must hold the entire team. Never stop, to that. And the team is committed, so I believe we'll make it.
The man is running away from.
Oh, you can't. I'm sorry. You're not allowed.
Right now we know Richard. We don't know the rest of the team. So if anything, we're coming for you.
We're coming for you.
Yeah.
No problem.
And unfortunately as well, you're now in the education sector, where great improvements have to be made. You've stepped up and you've already set a nice high bar for yourself.
Yep.
You can't step off from it. We won't allow you.
At all. Now,
don't allow me, please.
So, what I was asking initially about what I don't have is, do you have a web app version of this application? Can we access your Pascal and take tests on the web?
Okay, so the initial research that we did informed us that if you look at the online traffic now, okay, I think over 60% of traffic now online is from a mobile device. Now, if you look at the preferred method of accessing content online, it's an app. So if the target audience are kids who most likely will have a mobile phone before they have a PC, we thought that the best way to reach them was the mobile phone. So we didn't want to really put in extra effort to get the web version because by all means our target audience who are the students between this age group, they would have a mobile phone even before they get a PC. So for now, our app is not accessible on the web. It's purely on the mobile device, on iOS as well as on Android.
Right.
And this was informed by our research that we did before we designed the app.
Did your research take into consideration people in, the not very developed parts of Ghana?
Interesting question, Spiky. So, well, if you look at what we are trying to achieve here, okay, we have a specific target market now. Hopefully, in the future, we are going to include every person who probably is not able to access this app on their phone, who does not have a proper internet connection, okay? But for now, our target market is those people who currently have mobile devices, those people who currently are online now, who are using their phones, mobile devices to do all these things. If we can be able to reach this target market now, then we'll integrate more ways and means to incorporate other ways and means to include these other people as well into the app. But what we are betting on is this: we bet on the fact that if you look at the kind of investment that the telcos are making now, just recently MTN announced that they're going to invest a lot more, money into developing 3G and then 4G in a lot of areas.
Right.
If you look at what Airtel is investing now, as well as Tigo and then Vodafone and all those people, you realize that data is becoming really accessible across everywhere in the country. Okay, and as much as it's not 100%, the integration is very, very, very high. So we are actually trying to bet now on the fact that this is going to be available from now going, because obviously, the telcos have seen that the trends have changed now. People are spending more money on data than anything else. So they also must invest more money in all these areas to ensure that if there's a service that those deprived areas need to have with data access, they'll get it. And this is what we really are trying to bet on now with our app and with our approach to tackling this solution.
Now, having internet is one thing, but having the device to access the internet is another. And these people, or all the young ones who will possibly also need your app, can't afford a smartphone. They're probably using a YAM, as that's probably the highest they could get. So in that case, how would they access your platform then?
Well, it's a tough one, but for now, our app is focused on those who can afford to get these devices.
I think you should look.
Hopefully, in the future, we'll find ways and means to integrate them. But for now, really, our solution is focused on those who can be able to at least get. And the best part about our app is that we are doing all the processing on our service.
Right.
We are putting the data on our service. So even if you have a very low-end smartphone, that is not powerful at all, with a very small amount of data storage, okay, you can still install the app, because we keep all the storage on our service. We process all on our service, and so even if a very cheap smartphone, that costs very little, you can still be able to install the app and then use it.
Can we do a, what do you call it? A USSD version of the app. So imagine if I'm in the village and then I want to,
with your edge connection.
A YAM probably doesn't even have edge, and I want to access this passcode, Ultimate Passcode app. I should be able to dial *0000# and then I get a response that says, and I choose English, Math, Science, or whatever. Or first I choose BC or WASI. So 1 for BC, 2 for WASI. Okay, 1. And then subject, English, Math, Science, blah, blah, and I choose. Then the question starts coming to me via USSD. Wouldn't that be cool?
Spiky, that would be very cool.
Yeah.
But let me explain to you a little bit when it comes to the programming side as well. Now, if you were to launch, let's say, the maths, BC maths or WASI maths right now, you realize that there are a lot of formulas in there, mathematical formulas basically.
Yeah.
Now, you cannot really express these formulas in a USSD format. That's one. Number two is that if you open, let's say, pretext, for example, there are a lot of pictures in there. These pictures cannot be viewed with the USSD platform. So probably we might want to explore ways and means to make it possible in that regard.
Yeah.
But for now, our focus really is on trying to make this platform the way it is now really, really work. And the barrier now will be for the people to be able to now afford, but Spiky, think about it. If you look at the cost of buying 10 books,
right,
the cost of buying 8 books, that costs 500 Ghana cedis or 400 Ghana cedis. You could probably get a smartphone for cheaper, a used one for cheaper, for less than 100 Ghana cedis, for example. Now, this alone cuts down the cost or the barrier to acquiring the 10 or the 8 books, right? So, in any way, you must spend some money. And even the young phone, they are cheaper and cheaper young phones now. But instead of buying probably a brand new young phone, you could use the same money to buy probably a used smartphone and still be able to access that. Because really, the approach that we took, and if you look at the comprehensive nature of the questions, the math formulas, the pictures, and all those things, practically, programmatically, it's not really feasible to try to implement it in the USSD platform for us for now.
Okay.
So really we don't want to focus on that for now.
Okay. So I think then we'd have to hope that more NGOs and non-profit organizations would look at getting devices to these rural areas or underprivileged areas where they can gather around like one tablet, you know what I mean, and then download the app and then take practice tests in turns. Because trust me, that some of these people can't even afford the books, let alone go and afford the battery of the phone. So yeah, we just have to hope that some non-profit organizations will take it upon themselves and then build some Raspberry Pi devices that they could go give to them running Android, and then they can download these apps so they can try it.
What's been your engagement with the Ministry of Education and similar NGOs involved in the ministry and similar NGOs involved in education and trying to raise the standard of Ghanaian children?
Okay, so the thing in Ghana is that when you go to the government sector, things can be quite slow. If you don't know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can get you access to some big man, really, you can't really push far. But this is the reason why we chose this approach. Because sometimes in the past, we have other apps as well that we've designed that really requires, for example, the board to approve, the board of a school to approve. And those processes takes time, okay?
Right.
Before a board approves a single school system for the school, it takes a very long time. So with this approach, we are trying to democratize the access to everybody. Whether they approve or don't approve. You see, once the students see the app, once the kids like the app, once the kids see the value that they can get from the app, they will install, they will use, and they will find the benefit from it. So even before the GES comes to work with us, even before the GES hears of us, then the students will be our testimonies. Every single kid out there, about 2 million kids out there who will hear of us, who have used the app, will be our testimony to people that really this app really works. So we chose a different approach. We chose the bottom-up approach. Rather than going up and coming down, we chose to go down, give the access, democratize the entire access to the app to everybody, and then take it up. So eventually, with time, we have a few contacts we're trying to work with now. We have a few links who are in touch with us now. Hopefully, sometime in the future, they will find ways and means to get the access even more than it is now. But for now, we are really trying to do our best to get the app out there.
Great. So if you're listening to us, we're talking about Pasco, not the one that you get on WhatsApp where somebody sends a meme or something that you've probably seen, but the type that the ultimate Pasco, which is an app for BEC and WASI users who want to take practice tests before they go and take their exam. Now, if you have any questions, you can send them to 0244 340437, 0244 340437. If you want to ask any question about Pasco app, the ultimate Pasco app. It's on the App Store, on Play Store, ultimate Pasco app. Now, we've got some messages here. I'll read them. Welcome back, guys. Yes, thank you very much. So I think this welcome is not for me, but for Michael. Spiky, this generation is blessed to have technology advancing faster than it was before. That's from Sunu David Delali from Abokobi Boy. Yes, absolutely. This generation is blessed. And yes, some people are asking about the name of the app. It's the Ultimate Pasco app. The Ultimate. Bold claim by Richard. So, Richard, do I still have you on? Yes, Richard.
Yes.
The Ultimate Pasco app. What kind of so you've got ads in there. Now we know, do you have any control of the kind of ads that are shown on these apps, on your app, sorry?
Yes. So I can tell you that for me personally, I'm very particular about kids education,
right.
And there's no way that will allow some unnecessary, let's say, ads on the app, for example. So what we've done is that we've partnered with Google Ads, and they give us a lot of control on the kind of ads that can be shown and cannot be shown.
Right.
So periodically we review the content, and whenever we see or we feel like these kind of ads are not appropriate, which really rarely will not be the case because it's Google and they have a very strict policy of their platform anyway. But just in case even you want to go the extra mile to ensure that there is no inappropriate ads, then we can block them all from showing.
Right.
So it's basically a platform that we've built and we integrate into, and through Google we can monitor and track and ensure that whatever is showing in there as ads is appropriate. And really, because of the way it's a free app, this is one of the models that we have to actually monetize it, because without the monetization, we will not be able to keep it running. We hope that in the next couple of years' time, even beyond Ghana, we might, go beyond, just like how we have countries like Sierra Leone, Nigeria, use the app now. We'll go to all those areas as well. But we need to ensure that we have some kind of system in place that ensure that there is some kind of revenue inflow, and also ensure there's continuity in the idea that we have for the app.
Now, still on the ad side, we've seen even Google suffer with people circumventing the controls that they've put in place and showing content to kids that ideally these kids shouldn't see, by packaging them as something that kids could see. We've seen that on YouTube, where you have YouTube videos that are supposed to be for kids, but when you watch them, they're really not ads that are for kids. So if Google is failing at that and you are putting your own system in place, how would you enforce this actively and not, reactively?
So, the way the ads are served on apps, if let's say you Spiky, was to install the app now to use the app, Google knows probably, Google, they have a lot of data on you. Okay? They probably know your age category. They probably know what kind of thing that you like or that you use your phone for. So they will serve you ads based on that. So really, the ads they serve on the apps is not based on the app itself, but it's based on the user.
Which could be a problem, because if I'm using the phone and then I go browsing very dubious websites and my nephew comes to borrow my phone to go and learn, and then these apps pop up there, wouldn't that be worrying? Think about it.
Yeah, so that's how it works really. So Google has, and every device online has some kind of unique ID, and they have a way of tracking the device across different platforms. So that's really what they are doing now. There's a reason why we need to be very careful with our privacy. The reason why Apple is quite particular about implementing new features in iOS version 14 that can limit and prevent some of these trackings. Okay.
Right.
So really, the ads are not served based on the app itself. It is served on the user of the phone and what kind of stuff the user does online. So if, for example, you like going to a particular site, whatever app you use, Google will serve you ads based on where you've gone to. So it's not really about the app per se. So the app itself is not really the problem here. It is the user and what the user does with his phone that is the problem. So if a kid has a phone and the kid is normally doing kid stuff, it's very unlikely that the kid will get any kind of ad that is not appropriate for him or her, unless the kid himself is doing something appropriate before he might see something a bit, But even with that, we have actually blocked every kind of content that may be in some kind of category from ever being shown on our apps.
Right. So then, what advice would you give to parents or guardians who would give their devices to their kids, because then they would be exposing them to their possible ads that they should be seeing?
Well, number one, the parents should be mindful of the kind of stuff they do on their phone. Very important. If you want to train your kids to use their phones appropriately, I think ideally you should be the role model. You should also use your phone appropriately, number one. Number two, if you want to give the kids their own phone, okay, it's better to install some kind of parental control app on the phone that monitors how long they use the phone, how many hours they use the phone, and what kind of apps they can access on the phone, okay? Right. There are some of these parental apps that you can use to control your devices to ensure that your kids are not exposed to any inappropriate content online, because online is it's a really a wild space. It's like the wild wild west.
Yeah.
It's really really wild. If you're not careful to really ensure that you can properly educate your kids, or give them the right tools and the right education, they might be exposed wrongly, and if they are, trust me, sometimes they can be messed up for life, which
Right.
we all don't want.
Okay, we've got a question here that's asking, does the app question contain answers? That's from John from Kokumlemle.
100% answers, yes.
Okay. And does it record a score? So at the end of the day, if I take a test, we'll have a score that's recorded.
Okay, so for this particular app, the focus is very simple. We are trying to mimic the usual Pasco books that we have on the market.
Right.
Okay, so if you cannot afford to buy the books, this app is available for you for free. So we just show you the answers. You
Okay.
click on the answer. It tells you. We don't actually record your
Okay.
name, your phone number, your email. We don't track those things. So we don't really want it for now. Really, just
For
use
now?
the app, get your answers, and then go for it.
For
and
now?
pass your exam.
You say you don't want that
Well-
data for now.
well, if Spiky, if you have time, I'll probably share with you a little. I'll give a little hint of what we have coming up. That will launch in on November 1. If you have a little time.
Unfortunately,
we could go
we're
into
out
that.
of time. I would have
Okay,
loved, so just give me a gist.
So basically, this app is just the beginning.
Right.
Okay, so this is just a very easy to use, user-friendly app. Okay, but the gap really will not be filled. The gap that we saw at the time when the lockdown came, and the way the schools are struggling now with e-learning and all that, it's still not being filled. This app is not enough to fill the gap. So our next app is going to attempt to fill the gap. Okay, I'll give you an example. When I was secondary school, okay, I schooled in Accra. Now I traveled all the way to a different region to live with my auntie. And when I was living there, I attended the classes with a different school in that region. Now I had to attend a different school because there's a teacher who was there who apparently was the best in that subject category in the whole Ghana and won an award. Okay, so if this teacher is in the school, whatever he does, whatever he teaches, only stays in the school. Doesn't go anywhere else again. But think of this. Let's say we had a solution, a platform, where we can have the best and the brightest teachers out there in Ghana and make them accessible and available to every student who has a smartphone. Okay? And even now, the students and the teachers in the schools who are struggling with that to do Zoom, how do we pay for it? How do we handle it? How do we stream data? It's like a messy world for them now. So our next app is going to attempt to solve all these problems in one single solution. Well, for this app, you would have to register because you have to know who you are. If you take a test, for example, we have to actually grade you and mark you and all those things. But we are thinking ahead of time. We are thinking of how to really bridge the gap between the most deprived areas in Ghana and the best schools and the best teachers in Ghana. So this is really our next target now. Hopefully by November 1, if our plans come to fruition, we are going to launch the second app and then really, make education, make it, we really want to democratize education in Ghana such that, the way we've talked about 21st century education in Ghana and how things must change, how the old school of teaching is archaic, it's not going well, this app is what we believe will be the next phase of, software solutions, for the African market. And this is really what we are working towards now at NextVoSoft.
Great. Thank you very much, Richard. And we've been talking to Richard about the ultimate Pasco app. So if you're listening to us, we're talking about Pasco app, which is an app that lets you take a Pasco test or for BEC or WASI. And yeah, we've been learning a lot about it. Thank you very much, Richard. Definitely, we will.
Spiky.
You're always welcome. We'll hold you accountable, Michael. Remember what we
Absolutely.
said? To all the claims that you've made. And
Definitely.
yeah, we'll see if.
And can I give a last word, Spiky?
Sure.
So basically, if you are a student and you have BEC next week, okay, on the 14th of next week, you're a parent or a teacher who has kids or wards who are writing BEC or who are in, in the secondary school, we entreat you, get this app. This app could just be the reason why instead of getting a B, you get an A, or a C, you get a B. It might just make a difference between the grade, the overall grade that we score in Ghana. For example, if let's say the overall pass mark is let's say a C, or the average pass mark is a C in Ghana overall, it might just be a B because kids now have easy access, to be able to go over and review their past questions before they actually take the exams and give them more confidence. So please, I encourage everybody, get the ultimate Pasco on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store.
Great.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you very much, Richard. And Duraplast, are you thinking of quality durable pipes for your house and other plumbing works and drainage? Look no further. For over 50 years, Duraplast Limited, your reliable partner for plastic products, continue to bring you the best quality pipes such as the UPVC pipe and HDPE pipes and water tank, the best water storage system with water level indicator for checking your water level to know the exact water available, the best you could ever find in the market. With an innovative and customer-driven approach, Duraplast Limited has introduced the CD Wash Station, a comprehensive hand washing station for your offices, malls, churches, and workplace as a preventive measure in fighting COVID-19. So always make sure it's Duraplast when buying your UPVC and HDPE pipes for all your construction and plumbing works. Locate Duraplast Limited at North Industrial Area, Accra, and in Kumasi at Abuabu Light Industrial Area, Oforikrom. Contact us on 0244 33 665 or 0302 223 989 or 0322 491 095 or log on to www.duraplastghana.com. On Facebook is Duraplast Limited. Where Duraplast goes, water flows. Yes. So Gifty is here for the news, but before I hand Gifty the microphone, there's a Geek Squad giveaway still going on. Yes, Joy Geek Squad. We're giving away a Huawei Y8P this month. Tomorrow we're going to tell you how you could win it. So follow us at Joy997FM on all social media platforms, or follow me at The Real Spiky, and you could win a Huawei Y8P for yourself. I'll show you how tomorrow. My name is Kobby, Spiky, Nkrumah. I've been here with Michael, the return of Michael. And up next is the news with Gifty. Gifty, you want to sign out for us?